So far, you have increase in vital energy in the body, especially in the lower abdomen. You have amplified emotions, must be present. Very amplified emotions. Number 3, the energy has to be drawn into the central core of the torso and the head. Number 4, if you want to go through the experience without having side effects, so-called kundalini syndrome, without having health issues, without having heat and headaches and unnecessary heat, or uncomfortable heat, I should say, feverishness, headaches, all sorts of other side effects, without having adrenal fatigue and tension in the area of the liver, tension in the area of the heart, or congestion in the area of the heart, cardiac congestion. All of these things are not part of kundalini, although some people very proudly claim that they've gone through hell as they've physical and emotional turmoil as they went through the kundalini process. But kundalini itself doesn't cause those things. The kundalini process just amplifies whatever is already there. If the body already has various blockages, areas of extreme somatic tension from stress, from emotions stored in the body, traumatic muscle memories, all of those things come into play and get amplified by the kundalini energy and by the increase in breath energy. If you look in the DMSV4, there is a classification for kundalini, or excuse me, for qigong-induced psychosis, I think, or qigong-induced illness. Even if you just do deep breathing and you keep parts of the body too tense from emotional tension or from conscious contraction, you cause imbalances in the nervous system and the endocrine system that can lead to imbalances of the mind. So all of those things have to be kept in balance even as you amplify those experiences and create these new neural networks and reinforce old neural networks. So that's number 4. The energy has to be circulated. Things have to be opened up. Tensions and congestion need to be alleviated within the body. There's many ways of doing that. There's methods of relaxing the body progressively and circulating the breath, the capillary blood flow, the awareness through the body. There's methods of self-massage, methods of massage by others, all sorts of different traditional methods that were used to open up the body and release tension within the body so that the tension didn't create negative somatic or psychological effects. The 5th and final thing that you have to have if you want this to be a permanent and lasting effect is that you have to be persistent in practice over some period of time, a number of days. It is highly unusual if the person hasn't already been practicing these 4 other aspects separately from each other. If their body isn't already open, if they don't already breathe more deeply than the average person, if they don't already allow themselves to open their emotions big and wide. Once you bring those things together, kundalini starts to move. But if you've been practicing all of them separately or just as a part of your regular life up to this point, you may not need quite as much persistence to get kundalini to move and then to become a permanent set of changes in the body and in the personality. But for the average person who's doing these things as an intentional practice and who hasn't done them very much up until this point, for the average person, you have to be persistent in practicing all of the previous 4 things. Increasing the vital energy in the lower abdomen and pelvis, amplifying the emotions. You can't just sit there trying to quiet your mind, which is great meditation practice, but will not open kundalini. You have to do something that brings the energy into the central channel, either some sort of gazing practice or something that actually draws your awareness and breath and nerve activity into the central area of the head and the torso. And you need to keep the energy circulating, either through relaxation and breath and movement exercises or massage or something. If you do all of those things, and you continue to do them, and you bring them all together in the right way, and you move the awareness from opening up the lower areas of the body first, and then progressively upwards through the body as it's happening, kundalini will awaken, and it will gradually begin to rewire the body. You will build all sorts of new neural networks between the various plexuses along the spine and the vagus nerves. You will also better integrate all of the aspects of the endocrine system so that your body becomes more responsive and can very rapidly release hormones whenever you intentionally or unintentionally change your emotional state or your physical state through breathing. So all of these things start to happen very rapidly, and they continue to happen if you're persistent in your practice. It doesn't mean you have to be engaging in drudgery. You could be very playful about the whole thing, and certainly there are cases where people have unintentionally and permanently aroused kundalini just because all of these things are there on a daily basis. They open up extremes of emotion, they do deep belly breathing, they do something that causes the energy to move inwards and upwards through the nervous system, and they do something to keep the energy circulating so that they don't have to bear horrendous psychosomatic side effects, because the energy is naturally flowing and isn't pent up anywhere in the body. So I hope that's some help. Those of you who have had kundalini experiences before but have not permanently awakened kundalini so that it is now a part of you, perhaps you may see where some of those things were present for a time and then disappeared in your life, or you were only practicing one or two of them, or it was short term, etc. Sometimes trauma opens up kundalini, emotional trauma, physical trauma, the survival response. Sometimes love opens up kundalini, or sex, a profound amount of sex. All of these things can happen. But unless all of the various processes continue, it won't naturally unfold into more permanent changes in your body and mind. And all of the accompanying miraculous and semi-miraculous abilities of consciousness and energy that are associated with it. Remember, kundalini is both a biological and a spiritual process. It occurs through the body, through the physical and energetic and consciousness aspects of the body. Emotion, intellect, intuition, all of these things, bliss, emptiness, all these experiences. It's a part of all of these things. And if you neglect any of those, if you neglect any of the 5 things that I gave you previously, there's a chance that your experience may not be well balanced or pleasant, or that it simply won't last, or that it'll never get started in the first place. I hope that's a help to you, whether you are practicing CAP or any other method, and whether you've experienced some degree of kundalini kriyas or movements of kundalini through your body in the past or not. Bless you, and good luck to you.